I thank my physiotherapy colleagues for providing me with a lot of inputs on this talk. It's been really an eye-opener when you really get into the depths of physical therapy in low back pain. For surgeons, we all believe physiotherapist ke paas jao. That's the end point. So when you look at the literature on this, the patients are categorized into three kinds, where the disability is high, moderate or low, where the symptoms are volatile. That means you have exacerbations and remissions, you have moderate symptoms or you have controlled symptoms, and the pain can be again high, moderate or low. So when you look at how the therapies are arranged, there are red flags and patients with no red flags. Red flags are patients who have radicular signs or radicular deficits. They have high medical comorbidities where institution of a therapy is difficult. And there are no red flags, which is the common pool of low back pain. So when you look at the problems, these can be classified as local or they can be global. Now, local problems are ones that the surgeons treat. They are either nerve related, they are joint related, or they are soft tissue related. Global problems are part of the aging process. That means you have multi-segmental degenerations, you may have scoliosis, you may have deconditioning, that the patients have put on a lot of weight, they have never exercised in their life, all they have got to do is get up, sit in a car and go to the office. So these are all different kinds of therapies. So what are the aims of these therapies? If you have a high risk case, first aim is to control the symptom, control the pain, improve the movement, improve mobility, and then optimize function. Now, all this sounds very, very logical. So, when you have a patient with a radicular sign, that means a patient who has got a nerve compression, the common terminologies that we use are McKenzie exercises. So, what do you mean by McKenzie exercises? These are direction preference exercises. Now, a physiotherapist would assess a patient in which part of his movement does he experience maximum pain, and how do you reverse this pain by reversing the direction. So the aim is to reduce the radicular pain and make it more central. So that's the aim of this therapy. Manipulations, soft tissue mobilizations help in this direction. Traction has been advocated. Active rest, that means you don't advocate bed rest, you have NSAIDs, you have blocks, but you institute the physiotherapy as early as possible. There's a good deal of literature on chiropractic therapy. That means a directional force in a controlled fashion, where you manipulate the spine and try to reduce the nerve impingement. So these are the different types of therapies that are sort of used. These are the latest, whatever they do. The cupping therapy, it uses small cups which are applied for about 1 to 7 minutes. So you can have the patient exercising with these cups. And the whole aim is to mobilize the soft tissues, release the fascias, release the tension. So the patient is going to feel better over a period of time. So this is how these therapies are given. The second is an instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization. It is the age-old ragada. You know, you mobilize, you use the balan and all these things. So the physiotherapy part of the balan is a rock blade. It's made of stainless steel. Again, it's used to mobilize the soft tissues when the patient is actively exercising. So there's a great deal of literature on this as well. The third latest thing is a matrix rhythm therapy. This is a machine which gives mechanical vibrations with the use of magnets. So it creates an electromagnetic field and it is supposed to release the fascia and the muscle tension. So you can use it to practically treat all kinds of pain, and this is now commonly used in practice. And then the commonly used is the electrical muscle stimulation. So this is a sort of a protective strengthening program where you recruit the muscle fibers and make them twitch. The patient can be exercising when this twitching is going on. and you actually end up recruiting the muscles in a better way. The last is the pressure biofeedback. That means this is a machine where you can actually test how much are you contracting your muscles. So if I'm contracting my core, I get a visual feedback saying that I have contracted this much. So this is to optimize your muscle training, and it is very, very useful when you are into endurance training. So when you talk of global improvement, that means once you have controlled the acute symptoms and the patient now goes into a chronic phase of rehab, then you look at individual muscles, start strengthening them. This is called as activation. That means if you have a patient of a deltoid palsy, or if you have a radicular muscle involvement, then you start activating that muscle. The second part of this therapy is called acquisition. That means that part is a part of a limb. So you start doing SLR, you start strengthening the abductors, you start strengthening the rotators. So it's coordinated movements. And the last part is assimilation. That means you go on to athletic training or sports training as a last part of this therapy. So this is how low back pain is treated, and thank you. I think the buzzer sounded. Thank you.